Hey writers and muse daters, as promised, here I am today to talk with you about how to get published. So one of the questions that I've been asked a whole lot is, what are the differences between all the ways to get published? And I can understand why it's confusing. There are a lot of options out there on how you can get published. So today, let's talk about some of those ways. So the two major ways that you've probably heard of are getting self-published and getting traditionally published. And so frequently when you join the group, I say, what are you writing? How are you looking to get published? As I get to know you and see who you are and what you'd like to do, because this is a group called Write to Publish, so presumably everyone here would like to write to publish. So let's talk today about the difference between self-publishing and traditional publishing. And I think that this might be confusing because not only are there self-publishing and traditional publishing, but there are lots of ways to self-publish and there are lots of ways to traditionally publish. So I'm going to talk a little bit about those. I'm only going to be on for about 5 minutes or so I'm not going to dig too deep. This is something that we go into in depth in the Publishing Mastermind, where we help you to figure out what the very best way is for you to publish. But today we're going to talk about the difference between self-publishing and traditional publishing. If you're watching live, hi guys who are watching live, please let me know what your questions are. If you pick this up on the replay, say hello, let me know what your questions are, how this helped you, and where you're listening from. So self-publishing is what it sounds like. You do it yourself. So not only are you going to write the book, you're going to edit the book or find someone, I hope, to edit it for you, to design your cover, to design your interior, to figure out all of the logistics that are concerned in getting a book published. So a lot of people say that this is the cheap, easy way. In fact, it ends up being a lot more expensive than most people anticipate, because you're paying for the editor, you're paying for the interior layout, you're paying for the exterior layout, and then you've got a book that has zero marketing. So that's not really helpful. Here in Write to Publish, we don't make any judgments about how people want to publish. You may have heard me say that choosing how to publish is a little bit like choosing an outfit. When I want to snuggle in and read a book and it's time for bed, I definitely want my soft jammies. If I'm going to go to the Academy Awards or meet the president or something, I'm going to want a ball gown. I'm not going to wear my jammies to the Academy Awards, and I'm not going to wear my ball gown to bed. That would, neither of those would really work. And publishing is the same way. You need to find what's going to make the difference for what you want to do. And so that's one of the things that I help people to do. And if you've gotten on a call with me, you know that we talk about, what are your goals? How can you get there? What makes the most sense for you given what your goals are? So that's what we talk about. So self-publishing, do it yourself. Traditional publishing is where you get paid for your book. So you pay for self-publishing. In traditional publishing, they're going to pay you. And the general trajectory, is that you write the book, you get an agent, and then the agent helps you to find a publishing house. So you've seen people publish here in Write to Publish. I've gotten an agent. We're starting the process of getting an agent. Annalisa hooked me up with an agent. You know that I work with a whole bunch of agents, editors, publishers, people that I can call and talk to about your projects. And that's one of the things that I do for my clients. You've seen people post about that, and you've seen the pictures floating around of me hanging out with these people in their offices in Manhattan, getting to know them and what it is that they're looking for right now. So traditional publishing, finish the book, get an agent. The agent helps you connect with a publishing house and get a contract with them. So those are the general steps. Now, one of the things that's really tricky about traditional publishing and where people kind of get hung up is that there are different tiers. And in this case, I sort of think of it like colleges, right? So if you want to go to college, you might go to the community college, and that's going to help you to reach certain goals. You might go to the state college, and that's going to help you to reach certain goals. Or you might go to an Ivy League college, and that's going to help you to reach certain goals. And so similarly, the publishing industry is tiered in that way. So you have sort of your basic publishing houses, your sort of middle ground publishing houses, and then your high-tiered publishing houses. Now, we here in Write to Publish shoot for those high-tiered publishing houses, and here's why. When you publish a book traditionally, a publishing house is going to give you some money, and they're going to publish your book, and they might market your book for you. So, you know, just like a community college, you're going to get an education, but you're not going to get a lot of service. In the middle, you're going to get an education, but you're not going to get a lot of service. And in those top tiers, you're going to get the very best of everything. So up in those top tiers, in the big five, which are Hachette, HarperCollins, Macmillan, Penguin, Random House, and Simon & Schuster. And you've heard me talk about my relationships with editors in those publishing houses who I'm talking to on a regular basis, so that we know what are the standards in those publishing houses so that we can reach those goals and get into the big five. So the reason why we shoot for the big five is that that's where you're going to get the most marketing. People who say, I want to live a writer's life. I want to make a living as a writer. Well, you're not going to do that with one of the small houses that's going to pay you, I don't know, 50 bucks, 500 bucks, whatever it is for your book, but not a whole lot of money and give you no marketing. Those big five are going to give you the most exposure. You've got a big name. Things are really rocking and rolling for you. So we work with people who, you know, I personally have relationships with editors at the big five and with agents who deal exclusively with the big five, because we're always shooting for that high tier so that you can live the writer's lifestyle, so that you can make the very best living, get the very best exposure, have the very best fan base, the most people reading your book, because that's why we write, isn't it? That's gratifying that people are receiving our message. They're enjoying our story. They see that we have something to say, and they're interacting with us in that very special way that only authors and readers can interact with themselves, with each other. So that is the difference between self-publishing and traditional publishing. I've also given you a little bit about why we do what we do the way that we do it over in the Writing Gym VIP, which then prepares you for the publishing mastermind so that you can publish at that really high level that we were talking about traditionally. We do work with authors here who want to self-publish. Certainly the Writing Gym, which helps you to finish a novel, is a great program, whether you're going to self-publish or traditionally publish. The Publishing Mastermind is focused exclusively on shooting for the moon in those big five, and then Novel Selling You helps you to work with your publishing company, to work with your editor so that your book can sell and you've reached the most people possible. I look forward to your questions and comments. I look forward to talking with you about how you'd like to publish, where you are right now, and how you can get to your publishing dreams. I'll throw a link into the comments. You can book yourself right into my calendar and we can have a chat. If you're here in the US, we can chat over the phone. If you're abroad, we can talk via Skype. Please note that we only work with authors who are looking to publish fiction in English in the American market, because that's our area of expertise over in the Writing Gym. I look forward to speaking with you. Happy writing.